All right, this is going to be our worked example for triangular prisms for Unit 8 of Geometry. I added a couple things to the diagram here so we could see really clearly what's going on. First things first, I went ahead and put a separate diagram for what the base dimensions are. It's just easier than me trying to write them all in this figure here. The most important thing you need to know right here is that this 8 refers to the height of the figure, or the altitude, as we talked about before, so just keep that in mind. And then everything else you need is right here. Now this is going to introduce a little bit of a complication with this letter H that we talked about, but it won't hopefully confuse you too much if you kind of keep yourself organized. So first things first, I would recommend having this written somewhere. Because we are going to use it over and over again with these types of problems. So I'm not going to write it on the board. I'm just going to have it on this separate whiteboard, and I'll bring it up whenever we need it. But we're going to start by finding the surface area. And to do that, we're going to do the base area, then we're going to do the lateral area, and then we're going to add the answers. So first things first, we need to find the area of this figure and the perimeter of this figure. So if we want to find the area of a triangle, if you'll remember, we have a formula for that. It is 1/2 base times height. Okay, now we've already introduced our first complication. This H is not this H. Right now, we are fully working in this figure right here. We're kind of not really thinking about any of this right now. We're just going to find the base area. So that means that this 4 is the base height, in other words, the height of the base of the triangle, that 4 right here. So these are the exterior dimensions, 5, 5, and 5. And so let me put this back. All right, we're going to go in, and that's the base and height. So the base is going to be 5, and the height is going to be 4. So our base has 1/2 4 times 5. Okay. So that means that we can just calculate it. So 1/2 4 times 5 is 4 times 5 is 20. Half of that is 10. Okay, you can also use your calculator for that. These are all inches. So that's inches squared. And that's the B value. So let's put a box around that because we're going to need that later. All right. So then if I want to find the base area, I just do 2 times that, which is 20 inches squared. So let's put a box around that. That's important as well. I'm going to turn this down here for a second. Okay. And now we're going to find the perimeter. Perimeter is easy. It's a triangle. There are 3 sides of that triangle. They each are measured 5. 5 plus 5 plus 5. So the perimeter is 15, or 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 15 inches. That's the perimeter. And then lastly, I'll go ahead and use the perimeter to find the lateral area, which is perimeter 15. Remember, perimeter times height. Perimeter 15 times, now we're jumping over to my other height, 8. I know it's a little confusing, but if you keep it separate, when am I calculating something about the base, and when am I calculating something about the whole figure? Here and here, I'm using stuff about the base. Here and here, I'm looking at things that are about the figure. So 15 times 8. Put my calculator here. So 15 times 8 is 120. So that's the lateral area. So we have our 2 things together now. So let's jump over here and let's put the base area and the lateral area together. So it's going to be the surface area equals base area 20 plus lateral area 120. And so then the surface area equals 140 inches squared. And then all we have to do is go to our last one. Volume equals, let's go look at our Formula chart, base times height. Down here, base times height. Again, that's talking about this height up here. So we're going to go and we're going to do base area, which was 10. 10 times 8. And so then I get 80 inches to the third power. That's my volume. And so we found everything. Remember, really what you're trying to get at are these two values. On all these problems, surface area and volume are the things you need to get. Obviously, doing all this is how you get there, but this is the final answer that you're looking for. Okay, so that's our triangular prism example. I'll be posting a few more videos here in a moment.